Hello, I'm Emily Lum. I'm a hairdressing lecturer at Worcester College Technology. This is my model Natalie, and today I'm going to be doing foils. Now Natalie has been skin tested and we've done some test strands as well, and what we're going to be using is a toffee for the majority of the weaves and just a general bleach, lightning bleach, which I'll scatter throughout. Okay, to start foiling, I've already sectioned the hair into 4. I'm going to start in the neck, where I'm going to do 2 foils, and then I'll work on doing 1 in the centre, 1 either side, as I carry on to the top, and then I'll go up the sides. Okay, the first 2 I think are always the worst for you to put in because you haven't got anything particularly to lean on. You pop your head forward a little bit. Okay. So take about ½ centimetre of hair and weave. Thank you. Now when I put the foil in, again ½ centimetre, 5mm, it's really crucial that you fold that neatly and you spend some time ripping your foils previously so they're nice straight edges. Then when you push it in, you use the metal part of the tail comb to pull up and you pull the hair down. Pop your head forward a tiny bit more just for that. Thank you. As you get higher up the head, it will stay in a lot better. It's just the first one. Okay, holding it at the top, putting my product on up to the crease. Once you've got enough product on, you crease the foil. And you want to be able to see 1mm of this foil underneath. You can use the end of your tail comb to smooth and to crease it. Fold again, use the teeth of your tail comb to fold the edges in. And the teeth right at the top to hold it in, and when your product starts to expand, it helps prevent any leakage from the top of the foil. Now I'm taking another section of hair, about 1 centimetre down. And this time I'm going to start in the middle with my first foil and then put 1 either side, just where the head's starting to get a little bit wider. When you're starting to foil, it's good to pick the whole section up, then halve it. And by doing this, you don't weave too deeply and you end up getting closer to the roots. So weave the section, run your fingers along the top of the metal of the tail comb to lift the woven hair up, and then drop the underneath. Again, 5mm crease. That crease is your guide to where to paint the product to. So this time I'm going to use the bleach, and I need to make sure that I start where that crease is and do not put any bleach above that crease. The reason for me doing that is when you mix the bleach, you mix bleach powder with peroxide, and the peroxide expands. Once this colour gets inside the hair, it makes it expand, and bleach doesn't only expand colour molecules, it expands and pushes your own natural moisture back out of the hair, so it's likely to bleed and seep out of the foil even more so than permanent tint. Really neatly so you can see 1mm of that underneath. If you were to fold this foil up above there, then the colour would follow the foil up until its highest point and it would bleed across the hair. And again, if you don't fold it level and you fold it too short, you'll get, when I drop the next section of hair down, you'll get bleeding and bits of foil and bleach where you don't want it. So you have to be very tidy. If any should come out of the foil, you need to wipe it away straight away. And then sealing it so it doesn't seep from the top. Okay, it's important that you have a thorough consultation prior to foiling, because there's so many different patterns. Sometimes I start at the front, sometimes I start at the back. Sometimes you may just do a T-zone where you're literally foiling from the crown to the front of the head and up the two sides. Some people might like it finely woven like Natalie is, but some people like those nice thick separate streaks that you get, and in that case, instead of weaving, you slice it and pop the foil under so you don't have to do the weave. Okay? It's important that you keep your weaves the same size throughout. If your client wants a subtle look, medium to fine weaves, you need to carry on all the way through and not change to some of them really thick and chunky. And it's very important that you keep the hair central to the foil. I can't express how important it is to be consistent and neat through foiling. There's so many things that could go wrong that you have to be really, really precise. So if I can just show you with this foil, I've got a gap which is kept free of colour here, free of colour here. Where I've creased the foil at the top, that has to stay free of colour, and an area at the bottom. And if any was to seep out, I would have to get damp cotton wool and wipe it off straight away. I'm going to demonstrate what to do now if a foil does slip out, because when you're learning to foil, inevitably you will get one or two that will slip down the hair. On a toffee, aren't I? Okay, so once I've got the colour on, if when I fold it, instead of staying nice and close at the root, if it comes away, and it's all wobbly and hanging in for dear life, instead of panicking or putting cotton wool around to stop bleeding, what you need to do is take another foil, fold it just as neatly, use this as your foil to put it underneath your existing foil, push in just the same, and pull this one down until you see a tiny bit of the colour that you've already painted. If you need to add any more to get closer to the root, only go to where you've creased the underneath foil, so just a slight line of colour, and rewrap it. It looks more professional, it's nicer and tidier in the hair, and it will give you exactly the same result as if it's your first foil.